Hello everyone, Linda Israel here, and I thought I'd give you a little FaceTime since usually you just see my hands. Today I am sharing a project with you that I hope in my mind makes you a motivated creator. My idea is that you see something that I create and then it inspires you or motivates you to create. And if it does, here's what I want you to do. I want you to share on your preferred social media, #motivatedcreator, and share that with the world so people can see it. Then if you want to be entered into a drawing where you can win a little prize pack from me, then I want you to go over to my page, Linda Israel, on Facebook. The link will be in the description box below. And I want you to share what you've made there. I may even go as far as creating, I think I'll create an event. That's what I'll do. I'll create an event and you can post in that event that you are interested in being a motivated creator. And so here is your project that you've completed because you were motivated by one of my posts. So make sure you check that out. Stay to the end so you see the whole tutorial that I'm sharing today, and let's come along and we're going to make a tag. Alright, let's get started on this tag tutorial today. So in front of me I have a napkin, a piece of 4x6 cardstock, a calico collage little corner piece that's from the Her Allure journal kit. We've got some Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist, a glue stick, a pen, some distress inks, trims, a stapler even. So what we're going to do first is we're going to work on this little pocket piece because I want to put glitter on it and it takes it a while to dry. First I'm going to use my walnut stain distress ink and my blending tool, and I'm just going to fold the pieces because in this corner piece you fold over or behind and then fold here, and I'm just going to go around the edges with some distress ink really fast. Alright, now that I've done that, I want to add some Tulip Dimensional Glitter Paint to this piece. So basically, I'll show you, I'll zoom in so you can see it. I'm just going to take the nozzle, and basically this has little striations in the flowers or stripes. So I'm just going to go in here and kind of highlight some of those. And I'll do that all over these flowers. I'll just find little pieces that I like and just kind of add a little bit of this glitter paint. I don't know, to me it just adds another layer of dimension. On the peony part of this, I'll just kind of, or penny, however you want to say it, depends where you're from. I'm just kind of doing a little circle, just adding a little swirl here and there. Alright, I'm going to set this aside so it can dry so that I can put it on my tag in a little bit. Prior to the video, I separated a napkin, so I just have the one layer, and basically I have a couple of tutorials that talk about this, but if you have a multi-layer napkin, if you'll take a piece of Scotch tape and kind of lay it on the back, you can peel these layers off one at a time. If you don't, and you go to glue a napkin in place, the glue would only adhere to the closest layer, and usually that's the unprinted layer, and so you'd have to use a really lot of glue, or it's easier just to separate it. So I've got that ready to go, and I have a piece of cardstock here that's cut at 4x6 and just a simple glue stick. And what I'm going to do is kind of generously go around the perimeter of this. You may have to roll up the glue stick every so often. This is just a cheap glue stick I got at like Dollar Tree. I bought them at Hobby Lobby. And I'm just going back and forth, filling in that center portion with glue stick. And I'm going to work quickly. I'm going to lay my napkin down on my table. I'm going to line up the napkin and the cardstock together, and then gently press this into place. So now the napkin is stuck to my card. So I'm just going to take a pair of scissors and trim away the excess napkin. Alright, now that I've trimmed away the excess, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to line this up. This is a 1-inch mark grid, and I'm going to take a pen and make little marks on the diagonal and cut this corner off with a pair of scissors. But I'm going to take this piece and flip it over to the other side, and then I'll cut off this side of my tag, and I'll have matching corners on both sides. And I saved these. I have a little Ziploc bag I put them in, and I may use these in another project later. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some Distress ink, the walnut stain. I'm going to go around the edge of this piece. Alright, I'm going to take this to my sewing machine because I want to add a zigzag stitch all the way around. You don't have to. It's just something that I like to do because I think it just adds another layer of texture and dimension. I'll be right back. Okay, so I have added the stitches around the outside edge, and the tulip paint is dry. The glitter paint is dry. So the next thing I'm going to do is put these in my spray box, kind of side by side. And this just, think of an oversized shoebox. It just so happens to fit an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and it's kind of, I don't know, about 3 inches deep, and it fits perfectly in a drawer that I have beside me. So it's great for me to be able to spray something in this and then put it away, and I don't have to clean up my whole work surface. So that's why I use it. So I've got some Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist. Remember, it has mica powders in it, so you need to shake it. And this one's called Pink Poodle, so I'm going to shake it really well. And then I'm going to spritz this, and I'm going to let it, if it makes droplets, whatever it does, it's okay with me. So I'm just going to spritz it a couple of times. And then if I'm in a hurry, I'll use my heat tool. Sometimes I can just let it air dry. So now I'm going to put away my box, and I'll be right back. I just like that the Glimmer Mist just adds a little bit more of a hue to the project that I'm working on. It's just another way to add a little more color. Alright, so now I want to put some trim on the bottom. I've got this cute little pom-pom trim. I don't know where I got it. I think it was part of a Halloween trims that you could get at Michael's like a year, maybe even 2 years ago. And I just thought it was really cute. And I thought what I would do is put some across the bottom right here. And since it's trim and it's a little bit heavier usually than other pieces, I think I'm going to use hot glue on this one today. So I'm just going to trim off the excess. I've already got my hot glue gun ready to go, and I'm just going to put a little bead of glue right across the bottom here. And grab this trim and carefully lay it in the hot glue. Try not to touch it with your fingers because hot glue is really hot and it can burn. If you don't have a hot glue gun, another thing you could use is just the Best Glue Ever by Scrap Perfect. I like hot glue on something like this because it's fast. It dries a little bit quicker. So now I have this little pocket that I'm going to put on top of the trim and on my little tag here. So I'm going to take some my Best Glue Ever and put it on this little tab on the two sides here. Just put it on the upright and across the bottom. I'm just putting a nice little generous bead of glue. I'm going to set this right on top. I find that if I hold it and press it, kind of rub it just a little bit, it helps it to adhere paper to paper. And since there's that trim across the bottom, I really want to make sure that that's getting adhered. Alright, we're going to set this aside for just a moment. And I want to make a little embellishment that's going to go on here. So I've got a little piece of lace. And here's what I'm going to do. It's approximately 1 3/4 inch tall or deep. I'm going to pleat it a few times. And it's going to basically kind of make, in my opinion, kind of a half rosette. So I'm just going to cut this off over here. So all I've done is just pleated it. Then I'm going to take a stapler and slide it underneath and staple it in place. This is handy for getting that together, get it attached, because if you try to do it with hot glue, you can burn yourself trying to hold it in place. So now what I'm going to do is this is going to lay on top of my pocket. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the back side where that staple is. It'll also kind of help hold all these layers together. And then we're going to press it down to this corner, being careful not to burn yourself in that hot glue. Alright, so I got that in there. And then I have one of these little chiffon rosettes that is on tulle. I picked it up a while back. They were on clearance, but I kind of did a quick search on Amazon. There's a different version of this, but they have some other chiffon flowers. And I'll have a link in the description box to the ones that I found on Amazon. Anyhow, this is just a little chiffon tulle, and then this is a tiny scrap of lace that I dyed, kind of a hot pink color a while back. So here's what I'm going to do. I want this to kind of poke out from behind this flower. So I'm just going to put a tiny amount of glue to help hold that in place for a moment. And then I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back side of the rosette. And I'm going to place that in this corner, kind of over the top of the other pieces. See how that's coming together? Isn't that kind of cute? Alright, so now, just for some fun, and because I like glitter, I'm going to take the Tulip Dimensional Glitter Paint again, and I'm just going to put little dots here and there on the flower and on the lace. Alright, we're going to let that dry for a few minutes, and I'll be right back. Alright, that glitter paint is pretty much dry, and I think the next thing I want to do is I want to add some rhinestones to this piece. So I'm going to use the No Clog writing cap because it's got that precision tip, and this has been added to this bottle. So it normally comes like this, and I have added the tip that's also by Scrap Perfect. So what I'm going to do now is I know I want a little rhinestone probably right about here, so I'm just going to make a little dollop of glue. And I want one over here. We're going to do this in 3, so let's put one down here. So I just made the little dots ahead of time. That way it'll start to get tacky. It gives me just a little bit of time to be able to place them, and it should stick rather easily. So then I've got a little box of rhinestones. These are just flat back rhinestones. I happened to find them at Hobby Lobby when they were 50% off. And I love the little container because there's so many different sizes. There's different colorways in them. So we're going to pick a couple of these. So I want one that's a little bit bigger to go on the first one. And I'm just using my fingers to place it. And then we'll go down a size. And we'll put that over here on the pink piece of ribbon or lace that's been dyed. And then let's do the next size down. And we'll put it right here on that little dot. And that'll just take a few minutes for it to dry. But you can kind of see already that it just adds a tiny bit of sparkle here and there. I've got my crocodile hole punch, and one of my friends asked if I don't have a hole punch, how do I attach to the top? Well, you could always place this on here by folding it in half and then stapling it. So that's an idea for you. You could sew it in place, which I've done a lot, but I want to punch a hole this time. So I've got that hole punch. And again, that's just the crocodile eyelet setter and hole punch. Eyelet setter and hole punch. And that's just a little length of ribbon. It's probably about 8 inches long. It would have been longer if I had more. This is all I had. I'm just tying a knot at the top here. Kind of pull it taut. Like so. And then I've got a card that I've made that's going to go in the pocket. So here's the tag base, And then here is a card that I made. So I'll just kind of tell you about it. This image is from Her Allure, which is a Calico Collage digital download. And I have attached it to a piece of bright pink cardstock, zigzag stitched around it. I don't know if you can see the glitter. Try to tilt it just a little bit. That's on there. So I just did the same thing that I did on the little pocket, just add a little glitter. And then I added a little piece of trim. I just made a bead of the Best Glue Ever down this line and gave it just a moment to kind of air dry, not a lot, and then started placing that trim on there, and it's stuck. It's not coming off. Then I made a little tag. I kind of showed using these in my mixed media paper sack junk journal. These are little notes that you would put in a planner, and I thought it would be super cute to add them to a little tag. What do you think? Isn't that kind of cute? And that's that same Paper Studios punch, the Paper Studio label punch that I've showed in other videos. And then I made an altered paper clip. Now I have a couple of tutorials. This one is similar in concept to maybe the super easy altered paper clip. There's a couple others that I have out there. But basically I have a label shape here, a round punch, a heart punch, a butterfly punch. This is a word that I create. I have a few in my shop. These are little Prima flowers, and again I've added some of that tulip dimensional paint. This is a rubber stamp, and then this was some stitching. And I thought this would be super cute to just, and the back side was a piece of junk mail, to just slip over. And those are now attached. And then this fits in the pocket on the front of my tag. And then here's another one that I made. This is another image from Calico Collage called from Her Allure, and it's the same concept as the other. It just has a different image, but I did the same trim. I made another little tag to go with this altered paper clip, and then that way my swap partner, she can take these apart and use these somewhere else, and she's got a few pink elements. She could even swap it out and put a different card in here. Well, I hope you enjoyed this and that it motivates you to be a creator, that you've seen some ideas here. You may not use them all, but maybe it'll give you some inspiration for using the supplies you probably already have in your stash to make a tag. So if this is something you like, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, comment below what kind of tag would you make, and then definitely, using that description box, find my Facebook page. Come look at the event that I've created that is about Motivated Creator, hashtag Motivated Creator for the week. And what I want you to do is make something, tag, whatever it could be, and post a picture of what you made in that event. And at the end of the week, I'll have a little drawing to give away some little prizes, hopefully that will continue to keep you a motivated creator. All right, everybody, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell at the top. And of course, check the description box for links to Calico Collage and a couple of the other products that I used today. Thanks so much for watching. Have a fabulous day. Get out there and be a motivated creator. Bye.